can go ahead. All right. You're welcome to the School of Prosperity once again. This is another moment of transformation. This is another time where we put an X-ray on our money mindsets and begin to realign our thoughts to the right set of thinking as it relates to money. Okay, so here we are again in School of Prosperity. We'll be starting by taking our confession. Let's have our confession projected. So we're going to take that confession. We're going to make declarations. Can we have it? We have the confession on the screen. Okay. All right, I'm also trying to locate it here. When we affirm our confession, what we are doing is that we are setting up the atmosphere for who we are and what we stand for. If you want to find the confession, just go back to our previous chat on the WhatsApp group. You should be able to get a confession there. We can always resend that confession to the group for each of our meetings. I would like to know those who have joined us. If you are just joining, kindly drop an emoji, make a comment, your name, your location. If you are just joining us, drop your name and your location. Drop your name and your location. We would like to welcome you to the School of Prosperity. We would like to welcome you to the School of Prosperity, where our mindsets about money, making money, managing money, multiplying money, and where we build skills for business development, where we align our inner being with who we truly are in terms of our life purpose, the why of our existence. Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? So we'll be taking the SOP confession. This confession is built upon the 4 principles or 4 pillars that covers what we do, the foundation upon what we do in School of Prosperity is where we took these confessions from. Remember, the first pillar of School of Prosperity is purpose discovery. The second purpose is money mastery. And the third is profitable skills. Here you learn profitable soft and hard skills that you can deploy in your path to success, in your path to life achievement. And then the fourth pillar of School of Prosperity is sustainable business that scales generation. So we teach you how to build from scratch. So let's go ahead. I believe you are there now. Just take after me. I refuse mediocrity. Repeat after me. I refuse mediocrity. I choose growth. I embrace discipline. I execute daily. I think big. I take risk. I win. I add value. I earn trust. I multiply wealth. I am elite. I am unstoppable. I am of prosperity. Let's take it again. 1, 2, go. I believe you are there. I refuse mediocrity. I choose growth. I embrace discipline. I execute daily. I think big. I take risk. I win. I add value. I earn trust. I multiply wealth. I am elite. I am unstoppable. I am of the school of prosperity. All right? So that is it. That's our confession. That is our declaration. That is, we affirm our identity as elite members of the School of Prosperity. Last week, we began talking about the money mindset, and we ended up looking at that which has kept the 10% of the world in abject poverty, in extreme poverty, and look at those mindsets which you must run away from. All right? So today, we are going to continue. And I'll be talking about something very, very specific. Still, we're talking about money today. All right? We're still talking about money, but we are focusing on something specific for today. All right, so today we are looking at what I've titled I would love to know those that are joining us. I would love to connect with those who are joining us. Drop your name and your location. Where are you joining from? Your name and your location. Your name and your location. Your name and your location. Where are you joining from? So before I go into today's topic, I would like to share some wisdom. Majority of the people that join us are actually from Christian background, and School of Prosperity is targeted not just for Christians, but it's a platform where you come to learn on how to build, how to scale your life from scratch. And one of the belief that a lot of Christians have is that there is such a thing called favor. And they believe that favor is access, right? Access to people, access to financial resources, access to systems, opportunities, access to human resources, all right? Now, in being able to gain access, most times we pray, just ask God, oh God, help me, let me have access, let me get this, and then God answers the prayers. But how exactly are the practical ways in which people get access? What are the practical ways in which people get access? It now looks as if the people in the other part of the world, that's in quote unbelievers or those who are not Christians, they're actually having more access than Christians. Why? Because there is a skill to gaining favor before men. Favor is not an arbitrary thing. Favor is not a vague reality. Favor is a system that is worked into. One of the access into favor is called giving. We are talking about money here, and I'm looking at favor in terms of receiving money. And when I'm talking about receiving money, not just receiving money in terms of, okay, somebody give you cash. When somebody entrusts you with work, with a job, you've already had access to money. When somebody likes your job, you've had access to money. So, in being able to access favor or have access to people, to money, to resources, to places, there is a posture, there is a way in which you must carry yourself. It's not a vague thing that God just gives favor to you. No. No. For David to be allowed to come into the palace where he had to serve under King Saul, he offered something. He went to the field where the Philistine Goliath was challenging the entire nation of Israel, and he offered to take up the fight. He took responsibility. So when it comes to accessing favor, you must be someone who is responsible, someone who wants to add value to the system, someone who wants to bring something to the table. And this is one of the things that the people in the other side, they understand. Wherever you see them, they are looking for ways to contribute. Another one is plain giving. Yes, giving of things. The people in power, the way to access them is actually to give to them first. But most times, the average Christian wants to collect, wants to receive from people on top, and yet is thinking, I want my life to go up, I want my life to be better than this, I want to be richer than this, I want to have access to resources more than this. But yet, the little tricks that makes for access, they are not engaging them. So you look at Saul himself. When he wanted to access the prophet, when he was looking for his father's lost ass, and he didn't find it. And then his servant said, Master, there is a prophet who can give us the access that you desire. He can show us where this thing we are looking for is. But we can't appear before this man with our hands empty. What did he say? He said, I have this piece of coin. And Saul said, okay, bring it. This will be our access point. And what happened? When they got to when they got to Samuel, there was so much. Even Samuel had paid for it. What they ate, what they enjoyed, the relationship that was established between King Saul and Prophet Samuel was worth more than the amount that Saul gave, which his servant gave him. So a lot of Christians don't understand this. They are looking for, okay, how do I come to the place where I'm in the heart of this person? You go out for business transaction and then somebody says, okay, we are giving you this opportunity. You have to sustain that system of relationship through giving. Here we are sharing practical wisdom on how to actually access money. All right? So, having said that, we'll be going directly into our focus for the day. We'll be going into our focus for the day. So today in School of Prosperity, we are going to be focusing on Did we go off video?
Lost connection. We don't know.
So, we good. It's rolling back on. So, do we have people that have joined? Has anyone been able to join?
Yeah, I think we have. Then Jay and yeah, combined. We have 6 now, that's 4. I joined the mic back.
No, come on.
What are you saying?
No comment section. Just let me know once we're ready back.
No, I'll meet everything. I'll go for everything, sir.
Okay.
It's not ready. I'll switch back.
You know, system, I was thinking this because of the system I was using.
Now what?
Yeah, I didn't see the comment section.
I don't do that. So the table is not. Tell them that they should comment on the group like that. That will be the same thing what you do, sir. That chat is the same for this group.
Okay. So let them put their comment on the group.
Dre, don't bother. Pick your will announce it. When are you going?
Okay. Let's go on. I think I'm ready.
I've off everything now. No.
Okay. Hello. Can you check? I'm still on. The mic is on.
I don't know. No problem. Are you ready?
Yeah. All right. Are we good? So sorry for the technical issues. So I'll be talking about today. I'll be talking about money, the money wounds. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me see. You can drop a chat. You can drop a chat on the group, on the WhatsApp group, right? If you have any issue, drop a chat on the WhatsApp group. We will see it. The admin will respond to it immediately. If there's any issue, drop a chat on the WhatsApp group. Can you hear me now? If you can hear me, just say yes on the WhatsApp group. Type yes on the WhatsApp group if you can hear me. Kindly comment on the WhatsApp group. Only those who are in the elite group can comment, and you can comment here. All right, I believe you can hear me. I can see Mrs. Felayo. Yes. Mrs. Felayo just replied. So okay, so let's go on. Today we are talking about money wounds. Money wounds. If you got that, type it on the group. Money wound. Wound. WOUNDS. Money wounds. Money wound. A lot of people are carrying money wounds. It's not their fault. It's not their fault that they have been wounded financially. Some people, it's because of the background they came from. While others, it's because of ignorance and they've made quite a number of mistakes about money. So those wounds are piled up. Those wounds are piled up over the years. And we are going to be putting like an X-ray on those wounds so that you can actually know where you are being pained, so that you can realign your thinking faculty to be able to come to the place of abundance. Because if you are carrying those wounds and you are not aware, you are ignorant of them, it will be very, very difficult for you to move from point A to point B in terms of wealth creation. And that's why we're trying to shine lights in those wounds. So the first thing is just like what we spoke about last week, is the scarcity wound. Scarcity wound. And where did this start from? This started from our parents, all right, or those whom we grew up with. We needed something, and then you ask your parents, say, we don't have money for that. We don't have money for that. And you keep hearing it. It's not like this is something that happens once in a long while, that your dad or your mom says, okay, for this time now, we don't have money for this, but we are going to get it later. No, they just tells you outright, we have money for that. And it's so strong and reinforced again and again. So over a period of time, you have come to conclude as a child that money is scarce. That's what the conclusion has led to. So what happens when you grow up as an adult, you begin to hoard money. You begin to hoard it. Instead of using money as a tool, you are hoarding it. You can't spend freely. You are anxious about your finances. So the second wound is the wound of worthiness. Worthiness. Some people feel they are not worthy to have money in abundance. They feel like money is not for people like us. Certain level of wealth is not for people like us. So they exclude and excuse themselves from abundance. They exclude and excuse themselves from abundance. So that is another wound that a lot of people are carrying. Worthiness. They feel they are not worthy. They feel they can't access abundance, that they are not qualified. They feel they are not qualified. Are you getting this? So when people feel they are not qualified, it seems as if money now runs away from them. That is another factor or another wound when it comes to finances. Now, if you are in this case, at the end of this teaching, I'm going to be showing us how to escape or how to cut off from this kind of reality. The third one is the shame wound. You are ashamed of money. Alright, money is evil. You feel money is evil. Rich people are greedy. We don't talk about money. So the child is learning money is wrong. Talking about money is shameful. It shouldn't be something that is a point of discourse. These are criteria. These are things that are things of the heart. Because when it comes to abundance, when it comes to creating wealth, money actually flows from your consciousness. Money flows from the personal identity that you have on the inside. Your access to more money is a function of how you see yourself, how you think about yourself, how much you think you are worth. Your consciousness of your relevance, how relevant you think you are, determines how much you can have. So, when you have shame around money, it denies you access. The fourth one is what I call chaos. Oh yeah, all right, chaos wound. We have money one day, nothing the next day. So it's like money comes and goes. It's chaotic. It's like it's like Nigerian power supply. Today you say up NEPA, tomorrow you say no lights. You are in darkness. So money is like, there is no system that you have created that gives you money consistently. There is no business, there is no system of value exchange that has been created For example, most of our parents, maybe they were government workers, or they were teachers, or they were doing one mini business or the other, and there is no consistent, predictable flow of finance. So there is chaos around money. So such people grew up to understand money in a chaotic way, that today there may be money, tomorrow there may not be money. And that's because there is no systematized way of consistent flow of money to them. These are the things that are like wounds in our inner consciousness. All right? From there, we begin to look at responsibility wound when it comes to money. You are the eldest child. You must earn and support the family. That's another wrong pain point that quite a number of people have. So let's say you are the firstborn in the family, or maybe you are the first person to actually break into some certain level of financial flow. And then every other person in the family is expecting you to be the one funding and taking responsibilities for everyone's financial needs. In such a case, such a person cannot create wealth. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't support your family members or you shouldn't give, but you can have a budget for such. You can't just be spending because you want to meet the financial needs of everyone in the family. You will never be able to build wealth that way. It's a wound in the heart when it comes to money. It's a wound. And the last one I'll be talking about is comparison. The wound of comparison. You are being wounded because you always want to look like somebody else. You are trying to copy a financial status that you have not attained. It's a wound. It's a pain point that you have to deal with. Don't try to please anyone. Don't try to get an image. And actually the core root of this particular issue is complex. All right? You're having this low self-esteem. You should not take your esteem, you should not take your sense of value from what you have or what you don't have. Your sense of value should be in the discovery of who you are and the value that you carry, especially if you're a child of God. You are so valuable that God had to kill his only son for you. So that's how valuable you are. So your sense of value should not come from the money in your account. And that is what leads to comparison, because now you are seeing maybe your age group, your peers that are doing some certain things with money, and you feel like, I'm not yet there, and then you want to prove a point to them. That's why you see Yahoo boys, they buy a car they cannot fuel. They live in houses they cannot pay the rent. They gathered money once and then they made an initial payment for the first year. Subsequently, because there is no system that has been created to generate the money, the next year they are being chased here and there. They go and buy one massive car that the car parts, the spare parts, the tires, everything, even to change oil in the car, everything is so expensive, but they don't have any system to sustain that kind of a car. And therefore, they struggle. So they have to find every possible means, lie to friends, just to make sure that they keep up maintaining a kind of life that they have not attained onto. One of the things that you must understand is that every rich man you see, or every wealthy man you see, either they are using one luxurious things or wristwatch, Rolex, or whatsoever they are wearing on their body, it is actually a business that they have created that is funding that lifestyle. So they can afford to live like that because there is a system that is consistently generating more than 1,000 times the worth of that which they are putting on. And this is how to live. So these are wounds that a lot of people have been injured with, that we said let's look at it tonight. Now let's quickly run through, how do I come out of this wound? How do I, if I notice that I'm trying to compare myself to other people, if I notice that I feel a sense of satisfaction when I'm like others, if I feel like that, how do I come off? The first thing is sincerity. You have to be sincere to yourself. You have to be sincere to yourself. All right? You have to be sincere. Be sincere enough to tell yourself, this is my financial level at this time, and this is what I can afford. This is the kind of dress I can afford to wear at this time. And let me tell you, in the real sense of it, nobody is looking at you, because people are minded in their own business. Nobody is looking at and trying to weigh how much is your clothes worth. You are not that important to them. So stop pleasing people that are not even having you in their mind. Stop trying to please them, because they are not looking your way in the real sense of it. Nobody cares if you are wearing a Rolex. People are overwhelmed by their own personal challenges. So the first step is to be sincere to yourself and tell yourself, this is what I'm earning now. I did something for some of my students in School of Prosperity, in First Tech. In First Tech, I was asking them, I said, how much is your 1 hour worth? In a month, how much is your current earning? You have to be able to estimate these things. All right? So, secondly, how do you deal with responsibility wound? Let's say you are the oldest, or you are the first person to begin to access some level of wealth in your family, and then everybody, somebody talked about this particular thing, they called it black tax. All right? Black tax. So the family is taxing you, just like a country, you pay tax to the country treasury. So your family is taxing you because you are the first person to have money, or maybe you are the firstborn and you have access to some fund, and then every other member of the family want to rip you off. It is called the crab mentality. So they are trying to pull from you and everybody drag you back into the mud that everybody is. It doesn't work that way. What you do is to have a budget. I am going to give just 1%, 10%, 3%, 2%, or whatever comes into my hand to a family. Because ask yourself this sincere question: haven't that family been surviving before you started getting that money? Haven't they survived? That's it. But we are surviving. They've been eating, they've been living. So is it now because you have money that they will now survive more? But in order to be benevolent, you still have to give to them. So what do? You budget it. I'm giving just 5% of my earning to support any family member, and you separate it. Once that 5% is exhausted, any other person that comes with any other problem, tell them by next month we'll look at what we can do for you. And they're not going to kill you for that, because they've been surviving before you started having money. So, chaos, when there is chaos, and I explained that, I said in chaotic situation, what happens is that it's like money comes and goes. Money is not stable in your hand. The best thing is to create systems of value. Make yourself more valuable. Add more skill to yourself. Make more connections to people that matters. And surrender your value. Sometimes, for you to even create value or have access to more money, you might have to give some of your value for free. Yes, I said that. You have to give it for free to people that need it. And you will give it excellently. Don't say because you are giving it for free, so you now give people substandard value. No. You will still give them value that is premium. Why? Because you are advertising yourself. You are advertising yourself. For example, let's say you're a tailor, and maybe a family friend or a friend wants to sew clothes and he doesn't have enough money to pay you, don't go and use less quality material. Don't go and sew like a nylon bag for the person. Still give the person the best, the excellent value that you would have given to a president, because a president might see that clothes on that person and that president will pay you times 10 of what that person would have paid you and you would have made your money back. Are you getting the wisdom now? So give more value, look for systems of creating more wealth, and that is how you solve the chaotic problem. That's how you solve the wound of chaos. When you have been wounded with thinking that rich people are greedy, that's you are ashamed of money. You are looking at yourself that that kind of hike, that kind of operation is not for people like me. What you do in that case is to change your mindset. Begin to celebrate rich people. Begin to celebrate people that have gone ahead. Don't just stay in a situation where you are abusive. You see somebody driving a nice car past you and then you say, I know, these are the thieves we are talking about. They are stealing our money. No, don't do that. Because whatsoever you cannot celebrate, whatsoever you cannot appreciate, cannot enter your life. You cannot become a partaker of that which you do not appreciate. So when you have access to see wealthy people around you, celebrate them. Even give to them. Yes. You may not be able to give them money, but give your service to them. Give compliments. Alright? This is exactly how to rightly position yourself. And then worthiness. This one, you have to create an affirmation around it. Just like we have the School of Prosperity confession, you have to create a confession to change your mind that you are worthy. Elon Musk is not better than you. Bill Gates is not better than you. Dangote is not better than you. Doesn't mean that when we say not better, that's another extreme that a lot of people go. When we say not better, doesn't mean that you are trying to compare yourself to them. No. When we say not better, it means you can achieve, all right, at your own level, what is needed to make your life to advance. You don't look at them as demigods up there and that what they have achieved, they are not human beings. Don't look at them as if they are human beings. So when we say they are not better than you, we are not trying to say, it's just that they are unique in their own space. Every human being is different. So there is no comparison. There is no point of comparing yourself and say, I'm worse, I'm less. No. Elon Musk is Elon Musk. He is on his own playground. He is operating his own destiny. In the same vein, you have your own to operate. There is a value you are supposed to give to your world that will also bring you to the place of abundance. And in communicating that value, that is how you are able to climb the ladder. So, in the real sense of it, don't have any sense of unworthiness. Don't think you are not worthy to be blessed. You are not worthy to enjoy wealth. You are. And the first wound we talked about was scarcity. I said this last week, and I analyzed it using just mere creation, the creations of God. And I said every time you come outside of your house, everything is in abundance. You look at the body of water. The body of water is in abundance. You look at the grasses are in abundance. You look at the stars on the sky, they are in abundance. You look at the sand on the ground, they are in abundance. Everything is in abundance. Everything. Every single thing God created is in abundance. So there is enough to go around. There is enough, more than enough. And that is what we will be stopping today. I want to use this opportunity to remind us once again that there is an extension of School of Prosperity on Wednesdays, 5:30 a.m. in the morning every Wednesday we connect on this same platform, and we are able to draw ideas, draw wisdom, draw strength, all right, to be able to implement the things that we are learning. Because you need an inner strength, you need an energy that is far more than what your human flesh can afford to be able to execute on the ideas that we are sharing. Else, it will just be a mere knowledge in your head that does not have any physical replica of results. So, come Wednesdays, we have streams of wealth. It is a place where we connect to the higher life, where we connect to the divine, and we are able to draw wisdom, we are able to draw strength, we are able to draw divine ideas on how to advance in that which we are doing. So I want to say a big thank you for those of us who made it again tonight, and kindly drop on the WhatsApp group what you got in today's teaching. Drop your share with us a feedback. What got to you, and what action point will you take from now onwards based on what you have learned tonight? Share with us. Share with us now. Just type it in the chat on the WhatsApp group. All right? Thank you so much. Once again, School of Prosperity payment has been activated, and since the beginning of June, we are still expecting the payment for those who are in the elite group. And we've also activated a one-on-one session. All right? A link will be shared again on the WhatsApp group. You can book a session with me one-on-one on Wednesdays. Yes, we have a specific day from 9 a.m. till I think 6 p.m. I can't remember the exact time, but you will see the details on the WhatsApp group. So every Wednesday you have access to book a time for us to talk about things that are personal to you, either in your business, either as it relates to purpose discovery, either as it relates to having a financial plan and creating a structure around your finances, or as it relates to life skills that you need to be able to advance in life. All right, you can book a call, a free call with me, and I'm going to be giving you my time. You will speak with me one-on-one, and we'll look into things in your life, and we'll come straight and you can advance. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful night rest.